step in the right direction.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
At Ascend Aesthetics, they understand that you want results and you want them fast. That's why they've developed the fastest weight loss and body toning programs that are clinically proven to shed extra fat, boost muscle mass, and tighten skin without having to spend hours at the gym. Reveal your leaner physique, ignite your testosterone levels, and boost your energy with personalized plans tailored to your goals. Learn more at slimdowne.com or call 402-480-6680. Ascend Aesthetics, where transformation begins.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. America's been around since 1776. That's nothing. America's still just learning how to party. The Irish? The Irish have been doing it for thousands of years. Party the Irish way at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket. They've got your favorite Irish beers on tap, along with all the locals and domestics. Plus great house cocktails, a huge selection of Irish whiskey, and the best Irish pub food in town. See the full menu and list of specials online at mckinneyspub.com or just head down there. McKinney's Irish Pub at 7th and P in the Haymarket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Pass the disc to Nebraska Sports Squad as they take you on a journey through the wonderful world of video games. Right here on Big Esports, 93 Ticket, ticketf.com.
Well, against all odds, we're here today. It's summer. We're going. Hello?
I can't hear you.
Oh no.
You're
Hello?
on. You're on. Might just be the
Hello?
headphones.
Oh, okay.
I don't
You're going.
hear
Yeah,
you. You're
okay.
good.
I figured.
Okay.
So, anyway, against all odds, it's summertime. We're all here for another
Yes.
week. So, it's kind of a dead week for me. There's not a lot of news. There's some, but it's all rumors. So I don't know exactly what you guys have for news. I don't know what's all going on there, but we can just chat about
Well,
anything really.
To start, I think we should probably reintroduce ourselves.
Oh yeah,
Let's start with that. I'm Z. I'm the Nebraska Esports Club president and also the League of Legends game manager.
I'm Lexi. I'm the social media manager.
I'm Jaden. I'm the Call of Duty game manager.
And we are here joined by our producer.
I'm Austin. I'm not Rico. I'm about as tall as Rico down here, but
Whoa!
Yo.
Rico, you know I love you.
Fighting words. But yeah, we were trying to think about what news we had this week, and I was asking Lexi and Jaden, and there wasn't really all that much. But I have some pretty big news from the league scene. Faker, one of the most most known, most prominent figures in the league scene. People usually, if you play a MOBA, you know who Faker is. He actually is out for 2 weeks. He had a wrist injury, and he has had this wrist injury since June 17th, and they made him play through it, which made it worse. And he was in so much immense pain that he quit streaming, and he's not playing. So they had to play against the worst team in the league without Faker, and they lost hard. They lost
my God.
horribly. After this game, their head coach quit.
Wow.
So they lost a lot of firepower. I talked about this team last time when I said that they need to really step it up, or else they're going to have to start replacing their roster, which is not what they want. Everyone really loves this roster together. But with the way things are going, I don't think it's going to be lasting all that long. We're kind of worried about whether or not Faker's going to return to the scene. He's actually on the Korean league team for the Asian Games. So like all of Korea's best players are on one team, like an all-star team, and they play against other Asian countries in this like Olympic style thing. So he's supposed to be playing for that in like in the fall. But we're hoping, fingers crossed, that he returns even at all, because he's never really been this badly injured from what I remember. And that's kind of concerning, especially that it's, so bad that he won't stream or anything.
Mhm.
And they're all focusing on his recovery. And the rookie that stepped up to play for him, there was a caster that said, in the nicest way possible, he's very green, which is code for he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's not very good. Which also is just their academy team. Their academy team has not been doing well. It's been pretty bad, which is kind of rough to say, because T1 is one of the most prestigious teams and like organizations over in Korea, especially actually even in league, I would say. So that's really concerning to me that their academy team, which is their proteges, is not doing well.
Well, then on top of that, their main team also just lost.
Yeah.
Entirely to the worst team in the league.
Yep.
And also, like, do you think that maybe the coach left because he was gonna get like crap for making Faker play through the injury and not getting it checked out, possibly?
Yeah, that actually might be a big issue. So their coach is a previous Worlds winner. He returned to coaching after he retired. I think he's probably been around just a little bit longer than Faker. But that would be a big issue. A lot of people like are very okay, Faker, Keria, and a few of the other players on T1 have like a K-pop cult following.
Okay, yeah.
Is the way to put it. They are like,
don't they have like a cafe in Korea that's like dedicated to their team and
Yes.
everything? Like they're
I'm
very
pretty sure.
prominent.
They're
in-
very prominent
yeah.
in Korea. That you see Faker's face plastered everywhere.
on like the subways and everything.
Literally
yeah.
everywhere. They have like a League of Legends museum in the airports, and that has stuff for T1 all over everywhere. So it is really like a huge deal that this guy is not playing.
This is like to compare it to sports, like the Kobe Bryant of
Almost
esports,
yeah,
basically.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Like he is like this really well-known, renowned like figure, and the fact that he can't keep going is
Mhm.
like as if like one of the bigger sports figures in history like had to retire.
Do you know how old he is right now?
I think he's around 25, 27.
So he's getting to the age where he is prime retirement, probably.
Yeah, but he's never talked about it. He
Mhm.
literally refuses to talk about retirement.
Well, in the esports industry, they
Yeah,
retire
yeah,
very
yeah,
young.
yeah. Well, even
Of
like
course.
a lot of 25-year-olds, like some of the league players that I've looked up to, like have already retired,
Mhm.
which is wild. But I mean, that's just how it goes. Like you around 25, like isn't it like biologically that your body just starts going down?
I don't know. Can't wait for him.
Oh, that's so fun.
I think something else to really bring up here as a broader topic is how injuries actually do happen in
Mhm.
esports. It doesn't seem like it does, but especially for Call of Duty, Halo that use controller and you're playing claw instead of standard, that messes up your right hand. Zuma was a very prominent figure in the Call of Duty scene up through Cold War. He had to retire because of his he had a thumb ligament issue. I think it was like a tendon issue, and it will never heal. He had to go to default, and now he plays default. He doesn't play a lot, but since it's the off season, there's a ton of 8s going on, and so he gets in on those, and he's just not the same.
Yeah.
You can see it, but yeah, I mean, it happens. One of our players has kind of that tendon issue, so he's taking it light over summer.
I have that tendon issue on my left hand.
Oh, so fun.
And I'm just blessed. I didn't go to claw. I'm playing standard, but
I do know that it's a really prominent issue in 2 other scenes. Is the Super Smash Bros. Scene. A lot
Yeah.
of players over there actually have big issues in their joints, in their hands, ligaments. Also, the Tetris scene.
That's interesting.
explain that for me.
A lot of Tetris players get cramps or like their joints and their ligaments start cramping up because it gets so fast that they have to start. They're like their reflexes have to kick in. So if you're constantly, you're almost like overclocking basically your body in a way. Like I mean, if your reflexes are super fast with anything, your body's gonna have a limit, and if you're pushing that limit, it's gonna wear down on your body.
Yeah.
So like even with Tetris, I would say I watched I don't know why. I went down a rabbit hole and I watched like an hour-long documentary on like the Tetris World Championships. A lot of those players have issues in their hands that made them not be able to play up to the standard they should be or like want to be. Which I mean, it sounds ridiculous to say like, oh yeah, you know, esports players get injuries, but it's like
Well,
kind of serious.
It's
Well,
just
and
a
a lot of
repetitive.
them can't even be fixed. That's the other
Exactly.
thing. Like it's equivalent in terms of a career ender as possibly worse than tearing your ACL in actual traditional sports because people have come back from ACL tears. Not a lot, but you can. You're not the same, but you can't physically repair a tendon. It's just not possible. So that really ends your career. That's a true career ender. So taking care of your hand is huge, and that comes down to custom controllers and even then, you know, you're using it so much, especially pros sometimes play 9 to 10 hours a day for practice, their scrimmages, just streaming to hustle that side, get some extra income, especially with all these pay cuts coming through every esports league team,
Yep.
just because of where finances are in general economics, which I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
We might have
It's-
to.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a challenge really to stay in good standing when you're using those same tendons, muscles all day, every day. You're not just practicing for the 3-hour practice or doing your conditioning on top of that, where that could take, 5 hours, 5-6 hours. I'm not sure the exact length of practice time per day in traditional sports, and it definitely varies. But with esports, because it's so accessible, because you can do it at multiple places, it quickly becomes this game of how long can you do effective practice, and that will carry you to the top.
And then also on top of that, if you're just an avid video game player, but you're also an esports person, you're going to be playing video games outside of your practice time that may not coincide with the actual game that you are meant to play for your career. So
That's
then
my
you're also playing other games.
I was like I see Jaden online on some other game almost every other day.
Oh man, yeah. Fallout 76 is my
I've
my
seen
time.
that a lot.
I have,
recently.
yeah, for the past week, pretty much. My brother plays it. He played it before it was on Steam Summer Sale. So I went back home for 4th of July, and my brother's like, let's get on, let's grind all day. I was there for 3 days, and that was the majority of our time together was Fallout 76.
Oh my gosh.
And-
I did see you online for so long.
It's it's beautiful. I got all my friends to play it. They all had it anyway, because they got it with there was a Fallout bundle, I think a year ago, where it was all the Fallout games for $10 or something like that. And it was part of that because at the time it wasn't that great, wasn't really economically beneficial, but now it's actually pretty good.
They went back and fixed it.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a very
It's-
common video game thing happening. Is that like video game companies
Yeah.
will release really not good games and they'll go back and fix them over the years, which is just I would rather just spend the time, have all the 2 years extra it takes, just build it nice and good and release it wonderful.
I think
Yeah.
the biggest issue with that is that we are allowed to have live updates.
Yeah.
Which wasn't a thing way back in,
Well, yeah,
not
you just
that
have
far.
a
Not that
disc
far
or
back.
something.
Yeah, we'd have a disc. We have a little cartridge, and you
Mhm.
can't live update that. There's no way to patch it. So you had to make sure it was Well, there is, but that's besides the point.
Well, that
But
was
it's like-
before the cloud.
Yes,
so.
but it was like there's a final
Back in the day.
there's a final product, and like nowadays you don't have to have a final product. You can just
Well, even now on the Switch, if you buy a cartridge, it can still update it
Exactly.
somehow. So
somehow you
now
know.
they have that technology to do so.
So it's just like the game companies don't feel pressured enough to one finish a game entirely, but also they set themselves up for failure by giving themselves such a short deadline. And we've talked about this before, how like with Cyberpunk and everything, it's like you gave yourself such a short deadline, and you knew you probably wouldn't be able to finish it in that time period. And the time that you the minute that you release that game and everyone plays it, everyone hates it because it is so buggy, it is unplayable, and it is just a miserable experience. And
But
like,
some people love that, really, like
That's
it's
fair.
buggy, like I want to find all the bugs, and it like I remember people relished in that when it first came out. Like
That
I
is
was
true.
pumped for Cyberpunk, and then watching people play it, I was like, yeah, I'm not buying this. No.
yeah,
And
exactly.
then they updated it, and
Yeah,
they had
now
the
it's
anime
fine.
that came out. That now they're adding the Edge Runners in it as well. I think they're adding some new mechanic in the game that coincides with the anime
yeah,
that they
it
made.
would probably be Edge Runners then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something else to get into. That's a whole rabbit hole of redemption arc games. I think that started with No Man's Sky,
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
which
100%.
is
Yep.
by far the greatest comeback of all time. But I think the way that Cyberpunk differs from Fallout 76 and No Man's Sky is Fallout 76 and No Man's Sky had technological challenges to overcome, where Fallout 76 was using the Fallout 4 engine, which was not made for online play.
Mm.
And Bethesda did not give enough time to really flesh that out. So there was no NPCs, there was no anything because it had to be so bare bones. But that also kind of coincided with lore at the time. They've gone and rewritten a lot of stuff to make it work, but it works. It just works.
I do remember when it first came out, and all my friends were like, "This is the worst
Oh,
game
it was rough.
we've ever played," and I was like, "Okay, then maybe I won't get into it."
Yeah.
But now you're always like on it. I'm like, "Oh, maybe they've improved it."
Oh, yeah.
Especially coming from Fallout 4, like it
Yeah.
was such a letdown. Just the hype that Fallout 4 had around it, and the cult following that it had, and then releasing, like Jaden said, this bare bones game. It was just like, what?
What is this?
What is it? Why are you giving this to us?
Well, the story is that Fallout 76 was conceived as an idea about 3/4 of the way through the Fallout 4 process of development, when the Fallout devs said, "Hey, wouldn't it be great? All these people that are talking about," and there was a Fallout New Vegas mod that came out right around the same time that allowed for online play, and so they said, "We could do that. This engine is a new engine; it can allow for that." And then they expected too much out of themselves from a corporate level, not from an actual
Developer standpoint.
individual developer standpoint, although they too were confident that they could do it. And you could see it in the documentary they made. They were very confident. And it wasn't the face of, "Oh yeah, we're confident." It was true confidence that they thought that they could do it. And No Man's Sky made a bunch of promises from a technological standpoint that they soon found out they really couldn't keep until now, because it took so long to get to that point. But Cyberpunk just had made promises of
Yep.
too early. It was admittedly a new engine and all this stuff, but they didn't have a new technological challenge per se to overcome. It was a CDPR game, you know? It's a CDPR game.
Yeah.
Witcher, all the stuff. They're the same basic kind of components, right? Like an RPG.
I was going to ask, what is a CDPR game?
Oh, CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
there we
game
go.
company developers.
I
yeah.
was like, I don't remember what that means.
Yeah, they make a ton of RPGs. They made the Witcher series, which they're going to make a fourth game. They're taking their time with that,
I
though.
was
They
like-
That's
learned.
good.
I was like, I
They
know the
learned.
Witcher series is a very beloved series.
Yeah,
It's
I love
very-
those games. They're great.
Well, and then also like they released like actual gameplay. I literally remember watching them release like the gameplay preview of them like making the character, walking through the town, the city or whatever, and everything's wonderful and dandy and nothing seems
like
out of place. Cyberpunk. And then like again, you get into like the game and like the first time you walk outside, like everybody's glitching out and you're like, what?
What is happening?
What is happening? Yeah, it was just I don't know. It was just interesting.
Well, it's so interesting to think about it too. A lot of those demos are individual builds. So I saw this from the God of War 2018 documentary, but they went in depth on the whole development process. And when they announced it and they showed gameplay at that announcement, because I think it was E3 or whatever it was the main stage announcement, and nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew it was a reveal. And then the live orchestra kicks in and plays the music in sync. But the build that they made for this, they had a guy playing, and it was the lead director played the game and did their walkthrough. The last time they did it, it crashed 5 times the day of. They didn't have the time to make an actual fix. They had to rely on it actually working. And that was the one time it had actually worked flawlessly. It was a miracle. And then that game turned out to be game of the year. I mean, but it was a completely different build, and it was only that track with that cutscene with all those things built in. But this is one of the few examples of a game that actually followed through on everything that was in there and more.
That is true.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
One of the few examples. Yeah, that's very unfortunate that we don't have more games like that.
Well, even The Sims 4, they were like, we're going to make it online. And then they dropped that. And then they released like the most bare bones, like horrible Sims game ever to be released, in my opinion. This is just my opinion.
Nope. I think a lot of people
share your opinion. They made like, it was just, I could go in depth about The Sims, but I know nobody here really cares about The Sims besides Z, which is great.
Well, so the other thing to keep in mind too is there's always the discussion of why games look so good when they're in trailers or when it's a real render. That's because it's an individual build, not the actual game itself, because it only has to generate those things that are already generated and they're pre-rendered and everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why when you see not in game whatever at the bottom,
or like gameplay may vary or whatever.
Yeah. That's what that's there for. One of the few games that I love that didn't do that is Battlefield 1. They used in-game renders in the actual full game and just made the generation that way. And it turned out to actually look like that. It's one of the few games.
I do think that's like a big issue that I have trust issues with like games on Steam, especially for like previews, because it'll always have like a really amazing trailer and I'm like, okay, but what does it actually play like? What does it actually feel like? And I have so many issues with like how video games portray themselves now, I guess. The trailers are a little bit misleading sometimes with the animation rendering. And I wish it was more of like that accurate, this is what you're going to get and this is what you should sign up for type of feeling, instead of just hyping it up way more than it is.
That's why I usually just wait until people release like a game, like gameplay of it, and just like see, does it actually look good? Does it actually feel like something? Like maybe I'll watch like an hour of it so I don't spoil the whole game, but I can at least get a feel of, okay, this is how this game is. And then do I want to spend my money on it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
I just don't even watch gameplay trailers anymore. I don't care.
I see them pop up. I'm like, wow, this is a really amazing render, but I don't see this the same as the gameplay.
Yeah, there's a few exceptions I have to that. If it's a live service game, they'll usually use, if it's an expansion for a live service game, they'll use the actual game and just render everything out and record it that way. Bungie does that a lot. And I mean, we know where that's going, but beside the point. There's a lot of live service games that just use in-game footage for their gameplay because the game's already out. You know, they can just take their build for the new expansion, generate the players and all that, especially if it's a gameplay trailer like right before the expansion comes out. Then I'm like, okay, I'll watch that, you know. And to be fair, a lot of the gameplay trailers are just not actual gameplay. They're showcasing features of gameplay in a third person setting, like weird camera shots, like spin angles and all this stuff.
Zoom in, zoom
out. Zoom in, zoom out.
Panovers.
The classic Call of Duty montage type, you know, get some random song from
that,
Paramore in the
We
background.
gotta get a freeze frame with a rotation around it.
Man.
What was that one? Sorry, what was that one? There was this one COD YouTuber who was really popular. He did a lot of voiceovers. I'm trying to remember. He was like really big in like the 2010s. I remember hearing about him all the time, and now
You're
cannot.
describing so many people. To
I
me.
know,
That,
but
like, are
there
you
was-
talking commentary?
Commentary.
Did he rage a lot?
I didn't watch it, but I knew of him. I don't remember if he. I know he was like in a big controversy, and then he like dipped. Now he's like out of the scene.
Oh, T Martin.
Probably
T Martin or Syndicate.
Syndicate. I think
okay,
is
yeah.
what it was.
Yeah, he's British.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Syndicate.
Oh my God! Wow, that throws me back so much. Oh my God.
Flashback.
He's actually still one of the best players to ever play zombies, though, which is insane. He's one of few people to get over round 100 on Kino der Toten,
Mhm.
and he did a lot of stuff to start the scene. I know so much about
Mhm.
all of that.
No, I know. This is why we talk about
Yeah.
it, so that you can
Okay.
go.
Yeah. Him. Man. There was one guy that played.
Noah J was my boy.
Huh?
Noah J.
Oh, he's
I love
still my
Noah J.
boy. He's
Yeah.
still my boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's still kicking.
Wait.
Yeah, Noah J. He's a big one. The Smith Plays. He's another one. Prestige is Key. Mr. T Lexify. Mr. Raffle Waffles.
I recognize that.
He's
name.
iconic.
I do recognize
actually.
that name.
He's stepped away from zombies content. He focuses on. I think he's a content creator coach now, where he helps people become better content creators. He makes a lot of content on TikTok. I've been seeing him a lot recently, so that's pretty cool to see him still. But the zombies house they had for a little bit, it was Noah J, the Smith Plays, Mr. T Lexify, Raffle Waffles, and I think a couple more people. And they had a house, and all they played zombies nonstop.
Wow.
Oh, who's the other guy?
I'm trying to look up some old ones just to see if I can remember any of them. But
Yeah, there was one guy at the beginning of the scene. He unfortunately passed away really early. But he played a lot of Borderlands, and that was what he was known for. But he came up with the idea of, or the name for trains in zombies. So zombies training, and had a different name before that. We dropped the first word because it was very bad. But
okay.
Okay.
but training is still the term,
Mhm.
because this guy, that's what he called it all the time, and it just cemented itself in the community. And so whenever you're playing a zombies map and you're just going in circles or taking a specific route and you've got all the zombies behind you, that's a train. Because the way that the zombies AI works is it's going directly to you, and it has a different pathing list on the actual render of the map.
Mhm.
It has specific pathing. There's a pathing tool you can use. I've been in the zombies map tools before. They make them open because people make custom zombies maps. So basically you make your map and then you give pathing anywhere on the map that you want the zombies to take. So, but it's in a grid pattern for the most part. It's kind of like a lattice with a diagonal lattice on it. So they can move pretty freely and they can follow you pretty openly, but they do take specific paths. So if you turn your camera and periodically turn it, they'll follow that for a little bit, and it really manipulates the entire train because they're following your camera direction because they're trying to predict where you're going.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
that's why you can train, is you basically can weave, and if you're turning back around and you're facing them head on, you can look like you're going to go left for maybe a second and then turn right, and they'll all be on that left side because they're trying to swarm you from the front.
Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful things. I'm on a total tangent right now.
No, you're fine.
I went back to Black Ops 3 Zombies recently, and I got to play Kino der Toten and stuff, and so I remembered all of this. You know,
It's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I got to prestige level. I went back and checked. I got to prestige level 1000 in zombies. I played it a ton. I did local. I've said this before on here. I've done local zombies tournaments and stuff as well. So
I've only played one version of zombies, and that was because I've only owned one version of COD, and it was the Ghost. So
oh, you got Extinction. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was completely different though than the rest of zombies. Because Extinction isn't round based per se.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
but it has like a specific track and it ends at a certain level, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I do have some COD news that I was just
Oh.
looking at.
Okay.
Apparently eFuse has turned their assets into standalone properties.
What does that
So,
mean?
reading over this article, it basically they had complementary like their assets or like what are their assets here? Let me see.
Like their teams and
Yeah.
properties and
Yeah. So basically since they
stocks.
help broadcast like
Yeah.
college COD and like
Yeah.
Carball and stuff like that, Fortnite. And so those are all of like their things that they are kind of in control of. They're basically making them be their own thing instead of working together.
So they'll have their own companies, they'll have their own stocks, separate stocks and everything. Like they're building different companies on top of these things basically.
So like
Okay.
So it can
CCL
still
is going to be its own company.
Oh,
I
thank
kind of view it
God.
as
Thank God. It was, I gotta say, eFuse is holding College COD back. I gotta be honest. Like, until now, thank God. Like, the fact that there was so much you could see from the top. I don't know too much. I'm not that in on it, but you can tell from anybody that's in it. eFuse is kind of like, I don't want to say holding back, but there's so much more that the College COD scene could be.
They're not tapping into that potential.
Yeah, there's so much more that we could do.
So we're going to head to a break real quick. We'll come back and kind of elaborate more on this topic. Yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
You're listening to Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, Burnt Pineapple, and Mango Tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Quick question. Where does the term dog pop? 'Cause I've never seen a pile of dogs in my life. I've never seen that. If we've ever seen just driving down the road, and there's like, well, there's 12 dogs on top of each other. So where does dog pile come from?
Well, that's a good question.
And that is a standard.
That's a good question.
If you say dog pile to anyone, they know it. It's not dog pile. Never seen a pile of dogs. Never in my life.
I want to know where that comes from.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installing professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
America's been around since 1776. That's nothing. America's still just learning how to party. The Irish? The Irish have been doing it for thousands of years. Party the Irish way at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket. They've got your favorite Irish beers on tap, along with all the locals and domestics. Plus great house cocktails, a huge selection of Irish whiskey, and the best Irish pub food in town. See the full menu and list of specials online at mckinneyspub.com or just head down there. McKinney's Irish Pub at 7th and P in the Haymarket.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Spring is here and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This is Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is a good one. So we're back, and we have been dropped some huge news about eFuse and its child companies. I guess that's not the right word,
It's
but
children.
yeah. So they're throwing them out of the bird's nest to be on their own, quote unquote. So eFuse is going to be the parent company, and this will have things like College COD, College Carball, and all of the associated eFuse things standing on its own. But most importantly, the college games will kind of be on their own, which for me is huge. I think that's great because better organization on that end. This year was horrible for organization on their end. And I'm hoping we get a little bit more cemented ideas going into next season.
What exactly are you looking for them to change?
Just better communication at that level. We didn't know where Champs was until maybe 3 weeks out. So, and then it was at Belong Arena, which is also collapsing. It's actually no longer going. Belong Arena is being sold and may not be in the esports arena anymore. Their Belong is no longer going to be a thing in Ohio. So, which is unfortunate, very, because it's one of the major esports arenas, and that it just hasn't panned out. So to segue this into something else that we don't need to go down this, but at least not right now, we can come back to it because it's just a whole nother topic. A lot of people in the college COD scene have been saying that we need a ballot system for going to national championships from college to college at their arenas.
Oh, I actually really like that idea.
Yeah. Instead of having the Belong Arena, which is where it was for the past 2 years, which College COD will be going into its 4th year, I believe. Well, no, it's starting mono. Okay, so technically it's 5th year going into this year. So, or into next spring, it'll be its 5th year. There's some calls from some of the higher up people in coaching and on the college, higher up on the college end instead of the actual organization end, calling for actual college arenas to be the place, because outside of colleges, there's not many right now esports arenas in America as a whole, and having colleges host them is actually kind of a huge recruiting tool too.
Well, and also it'll bring in a lot of sponsors. It'll help with the economy for that, whatever college they're going to host it at, hopefully, or if not, if they decide not to do that, but it could bring in a lot of sponsors for that event, which helps that esports team, no matter how big or small, have more money for them to fund their esports team even more.
The other thing I would like to see from that is if you're hosting a huge tournament like that, that means your community is going to be a little bit more aware about it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's probably going to be a lot more advertising and a lot more signs towards that there's going to be this big thing happening on your campus. I know for a fact that if we were hosting something like that, there would be stuff everywhere.
Mhm.
We would want to make sure that everyone knew what was happening, and like it helps expose so many more people to the scene, and then hype up people to kind of root for their college teams. Maybe we'll have people travel even to come to these tournaments to different colleges. Like that sounds way more fun because it's a lot more community involved. You're kind of going to these places that where it starts. Sorry, and like
no, you're fine. I'm just thinking of something that I'll bring up in a second after you're done talking. Go ahead.
But it does make it feel a bit more personal, I think, if you're holding it at a college, because obviously it's college COD. You want it to be somewhere where it fits the theme and it fits that. I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes more sense than just holding it at a random.
Well, it's just
arena.
like every other sport.
Yeah,
like you like football. We have football here at UNL, and then we go off campus to other colleges and stuff like that.
It just sounds. It makes more sense if we're traveling for other sports. Why can't we travel for esports?
Yeah, I mean, we do. There's invitational lands that some college COD teams do. We haven't been invited yet, but we also.
But it's not. It's not the main league.
No, that's side stuff. That's side stuff. But the champs LAN is, as of right now, I don't know how they'll change it because eFuse has been changing the bracket system for us every year. But going into this next year, we can expect 8 teams to make champs. That's been consistent. So the top 8 will go to champs, and then we could host that in the Union. I'm not saying that'd be the greatest idea because there's not a lot of seating planned for that. But by the time we get our actual
there's
facility,
the Baxter Arena or the Pinnacle Bank Arena. Sorry,
true. You
Wrong
do, well,
city.
I mean, we could do it in Omaha. I'm pretty sure that'd be more preferable
I mean,
for.
It's our sister school. I'm sure they'd be fine.
No, I'm sure they'd be fine with it.
It's publicity.
Exactly.
It's true.
But still, the idea of having it here or just hosting invitationals, stuff like that, it'd be huge. I think that'd be insane. Yeah, as opposed to the Belong Arena or going to any other LAN place. I mean, if it got big enough, obviously we'd do something like what UNLV hosted the actual pro tournament, the pro champs this year in Vegas, which was, I mean, it was pretty sick. It was probably the best showing out of most of them. I think Toronto had a pretty good showing too, but Vegas, I mean, it's Vegas.
Yeah.
Come on.
You had something you wanted to add?
Well, it was more just like, those. Have you ever seen this TikTok where it's like a high school hallway, and then the caption is like, the only team that made it to state was our esports team, and it's just these kids walking down the hall, and all these kids are like awkwardly clapping. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I don't know. I've seen those so many times on my For You page on TikTok for some reason. I just think it was funny. But
I haven't seen. Well, to be fair, I'm not on TikTok all that often.
I've
But-
seen those a lot.
Yeah, it's
they
so
get kind of
funny.
annoying. They're funny. They're definitely funny, but man,
I mean, like, that's just a testament to say that like esports is booming everywhere, even in high schools right now. If like,
I mean, I don't know if I were an esports player, I'm not sure I'd want to walk down the hallway with the band playing.
Or did they hold like their keyboard or their controller so
Dude.
tight?
That
and
is
it's so funny.
To be, I mean,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do something like celebrating your esports team, maybe
Mm-hmm.
not going a traditional sports route.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, and also none of them, but a lot of them don't have coaches. They don't have a specific culture. It's a lot of student-led programs, so there's not a lot of dress code or anything. So they usually just wear like sweatpants, hoodies.
Yeah.
I mean, I was that guy wearing sweats and a hoodie all throughout high school. So
However, surprisingly, a lot of Nebraska high schools have coaches, have a dress code, have their jerseys.
that's true.
So
We're
like,
kinda up
the
there.
state championships that I went to for Nebraska, everyone was so like in tune to how it should look for a tournament, and it felt like a pretty real tournament, which is really great to see for Nebraska high schools, especially.
The NSCSA is so well put together.
It is.
Like their team, I've done interviews with multiple people on their team before, and they are so well put together. They know what they want to do. They know how they want to get there. It is amazing. And they're in tune with every single high school that they can get into esports. And they're also looking to expand into elementary schools, which is amazing.
They're also just super nice people.
Yes.
I love talking to them.
Well, I remember, oh man, this has been a while. Back when I was in high school, which isn't that long ago comparatively to some people in this room, but
thanks.
Yeah, no problem. It's what I'm here for. But back in, oh man, was that 2018, 2019? So 5 years ago-ish. A bunch of my friends put together the Kearney High esports team before it had the coaches that it has now. It has 3 coaches. One of them is technically UNK. Esports club guy, but he loves going down to the high school level and helping out there with Hearthstone, which actually at the high school level is kind of doing okay, surprisingly. But he's pretty cool. The whole team's pretty cool. They're really into League over there. I mean, they have 2 of the best StarCraft players in the state there too.
Wait, who?
I don't know their names. They didn't introduce themselves to me. They just kind of like pointed at me and went, "Yeah, those are our best guys right there."
Next time I'm going with you.
Yeah. Well, they won. The one kid won state, and he
saw him.
He went undefeated. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure
Yeah,
for
he
most of the
was-
year, if not all of it.
It was like, that's another thing that I'm really surprised about is the resurgence of StarCraft in
Mhm.
high school scenes.
It's
There
pretty
is
nice.
so many. And I talked to a lot of the StarCraft players, like, why are you guys into this? And they all gave me pretty much the same exact answer. And it was because of this one player who finally beat Korea, and he's from Finland, and he looks like the most default character ever.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But he's apparently like this super skilled, super amazing player, and everyone calls him an octopus. Like he has 8 arms because he does so much in like this small time span he has. And I'm forgetting his name for some reason, but that almost every single time I would ask them like, "Oh yeah, because this guy did it, and we think we can too." And
That's
I've
cool.
been seeing some pretty incredible players coming out from high schools, especially in Nebraska, which is surprising to me that StarCraft's coming back.
I mean, hey, if anywhere, why not here?
That's true.
But going back to what I was saying with back in 2018, which isn't that long ago, admittedly, I remember our team getting involved with NSCSA, and then there was a whole debacle. My friends were talking about how they were doing something with League that they didn't like, and how it was going to turn it a little bit more corporate and all this. And I was like, at the time, I had no idea what they were talking about. I was like, all right, well, that sucks, like we don't want to go corporate, as always, got to keep the soul alive. That's why I'm here.
spirit.
That's why
You
I'm
gotta keep
here
your
is the
spirit.
spirit. But no, it just thinking about that and seeing where I still talk to those guys now. I still game with them. I play Fallout 76 with them right now. But yeah, just seeing how much everything's changed and how much everything's grown from high school level on everywhere. I mean, in 5 years, because we were one of the first teams. Because I remember we joined NSCSA and ran the floor in Smash because nobody else was doing it. It was just that few teams that were there that we were just running it. It was like Stanford with any sport ever. A new sport happens and Stanford jumps on the ball. Like we're going to get 3 national championships right at the beginning and then maybe not get one ever again. We don't know.
Might as well run it while you can.
Yeah, those Ivy schools, man. They just jump on the board for everything. They were here for esports too. Not quite as prominent though.
I was like, I don't think they're as strong, but they're still there.
Yeah, oh, they definitely are. I don't think Ivy Leagues haven't won anything in esports yet. At least in recorded times, besides like at a collegiate national league setting. It's
Something
been
that
very
counts.
yeah, the ones that count on the national titles. Yeah, they haven't gotten any of those yet, and let's make sure of that. We got to keep them public, you know what I'm saying? But
but like as you said, like it was so small when you first started it in 2018,
Mm.
and now I went to state, and you have to do it over the course of 2 days,
oh yeah.
and there's so
like
many
60
divisions.
some or like 70 some schools just from Nebraska.
I was helping set up a StarCraft tournament, and I had to put in a role for every high school that was going to be taking part. I had to do 2 bot messages. because of how many schools there were that were taking part in a StarCraft tournament.
Hey, that's
I was floored, and I was absolutely amazed, and it was so cool to see how much it's grown. And like you said, it's just awesome and exciting that it's getting that popular.
Yeah. Well, we can talk more about the high school scene when we get back. We can go to a quick ad break, and we'll continue when we get back.
You're listening to Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get help. South Point Anesthetics offers non-surgical options from moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR, and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
The wait is almost over. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show is the hottest event in the area. Coming to Lincoln's Air Park on Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. Elevate your air show experience with tickets to the premium seating tent, padded seats, meals, and more for just $125. Premium tickets are going fast, so buy yours today. To purchase premium tickets and for more information, visit LincolnAirShow.com. We'll see you at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show in late August.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. Picture a hot summer day, sun blazing in the fields as far as the eye can see. Now imagine you're a teenager making bank, all while enjoying the great outdoors. Welcome to Nats Detasseling Inc., where they're not afraid to sweat. This summer, join the Nats team for an unforgettable experience. Forge friendships, learn responsibility, and earn money. Visit notafraidtosweat.com now. Nats Detasseling, where hard work meets good times. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again. They're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
If you thought of selling your business, you're probably wondering where to start. Call the experts at Transworld Business Advisors of Lincoln. With a database of over 450,000 buyers, we've got you handled. 402-413-1095.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
Typically, you kind of think of Nebraska as far as in-state recruiting as might not get the skill position players, but you can pepper in some offensive linemen and maybe a linebacker here and there. This class is led by it's in-state skill position players now. I mean, you thinking down the line, you could 3 or 4 years from now have Daniel Kalen lining up with Davon Holland, Isaiah McMorris, and now Carter Nelson. Those are all your skill positions.
Keeping the highly talented, highly ranked players that are in the state with you at the home state school is a step in the right direction.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Let's die in the double-doubles here. If you had to pass the baton down to the new guy and say, that's the new pipeline, what does that look like?
Conditioning for me ultimately is a game changer. I don't care how much you can bench, how much you can squat. If you can start a game and finish a game in the same condition in the extreme elements, you're going to have the ability to wear down your opponent. And that's what we took a lot of pride in. By the third and fourth quarter, they were dog tired. They knew it was coming at them again. The same it was in the first quarter.
This is Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, well, back again.
Do you want to reintroduce ourselves?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. So
Sure.
I'm Jaden. I'm the Call of Duty game manager.
I'm Lexi. I'm a social media manager.
I'm Z. I'm the Nebraska Esports Club president and also the League of Legends game manager. I never get used to saying it. And we're also here with our producer.
I'm Austin. You guys know me too well already, though. So
He's here for side commentary and for Jaden to make fun of.
Hey, whoa.
I make fun
whoa.
of Rico. Jaden makes fun of me. And, circle of life.
Yeah, well, I'll get made fun of eventually. It'll keep going. So, yeah, we were talking about high school, the high school scene of esports right now.
Especially in Nebraska.
Yeah, especially in Nebraska. It's really blown up in the last couple of years. So
It has grown very, very quickly. And even like high schools out in like the countryside that
Mhm.
have like this, like the smallest high school ever, they have teams.
Pender has a team and they're actually really good. They won for their division, they won league, and then they also got, I think, second for StarCraft.
That's amazing.
So like Pender, little town, middle of nowhere, is doing great.
Mhm.
They're popping off.
yeah, everywhere, just everywhere. There's teams for nearly every school
Mhm.
in the state. I'm pretty sure.
Oh
I've
yeah,
gone through
there's a
their-
list.
Yeah, their list that they have. I looked
It's
through
like
it.
70
It is
schools.
It's a
It's
But
massive
it's so
amount.
exciting. It makes me happy.
It is.
Also, this weekend, a ton of high school Smash players are going down to Kansas City to go compete in a tournament down there.
Oh, yeah.
So wishing them luck.
Good luck.
So good luck to specifically one of ours who's going to be coming to UNL is Blue Jay Jaden.
Not me.
not that Jaden.
I'm not in
a
Kansas
different
City
Jaden.
right now, so
But he's going down to compete. He's on 7 hours of sleep for once. He's been not sleeping for the past couple of days. So hopefully he plays well.
Yeah.
hey, you do your best when you're in flow, and if that's on sleep deprivation, trust me, I've been there.
Yep. So that's another thing is the Smash community, especially in high schools, is a huge thing right now.
Even in Lincoln
Nebraska.
High, that's like right down the
Oh
corner.
yeah,
It's
that's their biggest game, I think.
Besides, I think Overwatch is probably next. That's their biggest game.
It's not a real close call though.
Oh.
But
I know,
it's-
but it's like their next
Yeah,
game.
but it's
I would
basically
say.
their next biggest game is like Overwatch, and then all of their Overwatch players play League.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Tis the cycle, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing because I asked, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're on our Overwatch team, but we're also our League team." And I was like, "Wait, hold on."
I mean, if you have good synergy, then like that's great.
yeah, I agree. If you have a good team, you have a good team.
I mean, Team Chem is a huge portion of
You would know.
everything. I would know. I mean, Team Chem it's so good. When you get good Team Chem, I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Being able to have so good of Team Chem that you can meet your teammates in person for the first time after spending a couple months pretty much every day practicing and talking for 6 hours about film online, and to then on your third meeting going to Fort Collins from Lincoln for a weekend trip right before finals and having a great time.
I didn't know it was before finals.
Oh, it was the weekend right before finals. Yeah. We went, we kind of got taught a lesson. We learned a lot from it and came back, and now we're 100% committed to next year and starting off with way more energy than we did last year. We went into last year kind of slow, but
I'll keep supplying you guys Red Bulls.
you better. I need more.
That was a threat.
Yeah, it was good. Well, I mean, as long as you're getting a supply, I'm trusting that you're telling me. I'm like, I trust you. I need my
Yeah.
energy intake.
I'll get you your Red Bulls for sure.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Got to keep our COD team running.
Hey, I'm not the entire cut team, but and they actually when we were doing playoffs, they all had the Gatorade. What's that? The Fast Twitch.
I don't
know.
know what that one is.
So Gatorade Fast Twitch. It's no sugar, and it's I want to say it's like 180 milligrams of caffeine.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And it's about the size of that can. That honestly,
It's like a normal pop can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe a little taller, and it's a plastic bottle. It's not quite like a full-size Gatorade bottle.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
little
I think
smaller.
I've seen those before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
They're
they're
like
like
the little-
neon green with whatever
Oh.
color the flavor is on it.
They
Yeah,
look kind of chemical.
they
Yeah, what
kinda
synthetic
do.
sugar is in that? I don't know.
Well, there's no. I mean,
Well, I mean, there
I've
can-
looked through it, and I can't remember. I don't think it's what's the main one that diet sodas use?
Like Red 40 or something like that.
Well, not Red 40.
Oh well.
I don't know much about diet
It's a syrup,
sodas,
I don't
to be
know.
honest.
Yeah, either way, I mean they're pretty good,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
they definitely have a kick.
Did you guys
for-
ever
for
have
caffeine.
those Gatorade chews?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I used to get those before I did track all the time. And I don't think they did anything for me, but I thought I was so cool with my little Gatorade shoes.
Hey, it's the mental that matters.
I was like, if it works,
Exactly.
it works.
That is
Yeah.
true, yeah.
It's the mental, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's why we're superstitious, right?
I mean,
That
hey,
is true.
superstition it can be a good thing, but I
And
mean,
also a bad thing.
Yeah, if you're off in any way with superstition, if something's not right and you know that's your ritual, you're done. It's over.
You just need to stop.
Yeah.
Just put your hands up in the air. Just don't touch anything.
Yeah, I mean, I had for band competitions, I had a dime that randomly fell out of my pocket and landed in my case, and I didn't realize it till my last year. But every now and then I'd see it and be like, "Oh, cool, dumb. I'll grab it later," and then I'd just forget for my whole 4 years. So then I go back for the last game. I'm like, "That's my lucky dime," and then I realized it wasn't there. It had fallen out at some point. I was like, "Oh no, it's over. It's over." I threw my
done.
hands up. I was like, "Nope, I'm out of luck."
I'm done.
But
That's it.
to be fair, look where I am now. So I mean, I'm doing pretty okay. I think that superstition was good. But
All right, we're gonna head to a break real quick. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
You're listening to Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through July 11th are flat iron steaks for just $12.99 per pound, a $2 discount per pound from normal price. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations opening soon at 27th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha, with soft openings in mid-July. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Pass the sticks to the Nebraska Esports Squad as they take you on a journey through the wonderful world of video games. Right here on Big Red Esports on 97 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back. We were kind of talking a little bit about COD again. Well, just during the break, we were talking about COD and the prominence of the mobile version of it, which Jaden has explanation for why it's so prominent in like the community.
Yeah, so on top of the accessibility, because it's a mobile game, right? It's also just all of the old Call of Duties combined with a couple of original maps, a couple of original weapons, and they constantly add these insanely intricate skins that you can unlock through gameplay, but also you can pay for a bunch of them because it's a mobile game. There's going to be tons of microtransactions, but there's even a zombies mode with like all of the zombies maps on it. It's everything. Mm-hmm. It has a ranked. There's LAN tournaments for COD Mobile.
Oh my
and
god.
They do pretty
really?
well. Yeah, there's tournaments. There's a pro scene for COD Mobile, and it's actually kind of sick. I don't know all of the details because I only play the game maybe once every month.
Mm-hmm.
And I play for a couple games and then I kind of get bored, but it's still, the crazy thing is that it has the majority of the player base just
Mm-hmm.
because of how accessible it is, how it's free to play. So you can just go into Crash from COD 4. You can go into Standoff, Raid, any of these classic maps that once in a blue moon in a yearly COD title may get brought back when honestly, we should just be on like a game that just live service updates.
Mhm.
I genuinely think that might be the best way to go, but they don't. So, but you get all these maps, you get all these classic things. You can use the Type 25 from Black Ops 2 or the M4 from every COD title ever, the MP5, MP40. I mean, they have everything, right? All of the stuff's there. The DSR 50. I'm a big Black Ops 2 guy, so that's like all my favorite guns is Black Ops 2.
Mhm.
But it's just one of those things that it shocked me about the FTC case, because Activision came forward and said exactly what the player base is on each platform and how that may sway things. Because when the FTC says, "Oh, Xbox, you're gonna become a monopoly," it's like when Anheuser-Busch tried to buy Corona,
Mhm.
and the FTC was like, "That's a monopoly because you're trying to buy Corona." I mean, they do own almost every single alcohol
Yeah.
ever, but
Well,
that's
then,
beside the point.
like my big thing with the FTC case is that also you have so many indie studios that are doing amazing, and like just because they buy one big company that doesn't even have a monopoly on any video game scene except for maybe COD, but like COD isn't, like we said last time, COD is not a unicorn. It's not. It sure is like it helped pave the way for games like COD, but it's not a unicorn. It's not the only one in the scene. I mean, you have like Battlefield a little bit, like a little bit. I said a little bit. I
Jaden's making
said
faces
a
over
little
here.
bit. No. I said a little bit.
Yeah.
It inspired games to come out that were similar
Yeah.
to the concept.
Yes.
Yes, but I counter with none of them have the exact feel, and none of them are truly seen as competitors to the actual player base
Mhm.
besides BattleBit, and that's a Battlefield
I have
rip
seen
more than it
that.
is a COD rip.
Yeah.
BattleBit is the only thing even close to
Mhm.
an OG COD that's even come out. There's not a real like
But that's the argument that
copy or rip.
they're making. Is
There's
that
no competitor.
There's no competitor. So
Not
that-
really.
but again, that's the argument that they're making is like
Mm-hmm.
that there isn't a competitor, therefore you have a monopoly on this specific game title or like this specific game type. I guess if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, even then.
But
it's weird.
I think that the FTC thinks that COD is like the end all be all to all games.
But it's
not.
It's not because there's so many different types of games out there that
Mhm.
people enjoy.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Okay, so I can see both sides
Mhm.
because you can consider indie devs, but most indie devs have one hit wonder, and if they get any bigger than that, they get bought up by a actual dev franchise, or even if it is a one hit wonder, they usually get bought up by EA, and then they try to make a game that they're not used to making, and then they
Yeah,
collapse.
that's very true.
I mean, that's kind of the problem that indie devs have, is because they do a passion project or they do multiple, and then they see incremental success, and then they get one that explodes. Other devs see that and go, all right, we're gonna offer you a lot of money here, and a lot of them take that money because I mean, millions of dollars, it's kind of huge. And then that dev scene collapses or something, so it's hard to see the game space as and yes, COD is not a unicorn. It's not a one. It's not a one. It's not a grab all. Yeah, that's the other side of it. It's not a you buy this, you get everything. But it's the fact that Activision Blizzard and King, mind you, which is all mobile,
I know.
almost all big mobile games. So you got Clash of Clans,
Candy
Clash
Crush.
Royale, or all these. Yeah, Candy Crush, which is, I mean, every mother ever has played that game.
My mother has never played it, and I will stand by that to this day.
And that's impressive.
Thank you. I know.
One in
I
a
know.
million, quite literally.
One hit wonder, might I say?
Yeah. So all these game titles, it's not just COD, but COD's the big one.
But you can also
for
make an
that.
argument, like, what about Nintendo? Shouldn't Nintendo be regulating? Shouldn't Nintendo be like looked at by the FTC because they have Animal Crossing, they have Smash, they have Mario Kart, they have all the Mario games. That's a huge franchise on its own.
Arguably, are they COD in terms of size or longevity?
Mario,
yes, but that's
Animal
that's
Crossing, yes.
not
Any
on,
Nintendo-
not on player base, not on player base size, not for Animal Crossing. Looking at the general base I'm not advocating. I'm not advocating for PlayStation here or for the FTC, but I'm trying to look at this from an objective point of
Yeah.
view.
You're playing devil's
Nintendo,
advocate.
But you also have
Yes.
hardcore Nintendo fans that stick to mostly Nintendo games, just like you have hardcore COD
Yes,
fans.
true.
So you could look at it like
we know both of these types of people, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
person.
Yes. I know the whole spectrum,
Mhm.
but what I'm saying is from an economical standpoint of income
Mhm.
and guaranteed income
Mhm.
year over year, there's always a $60, now $70 release. A lot of people buy the deluxe edition. A surprising amount of people buy every single bundle, every single thing, thousands and thousands of dollars from, even you could say like the top 10% of players that consistently play the game. That's over, and it generally over 1 million. There's millions of consistent players month to month. And if they're buying even one bundle, that's $10 each of them.
Mhm.
Or the battle pass, which almost everybody buys, that's $10 on its own. $10 over even 1 million people, $10 million
Mhm.
months. And that's,
But also, how much does it take to pay everybody as well to then keep it up and keep making new content and all this other stuff and advertise for it? And
yeah,
Mhm.
but that's also, I mean, that's not as much of a cost to, not a cost to output problem as you think it is.
Mm.
Because it's a live service game in essence anyway.
Mhm.
That's just their content instead of story content or expansions for the games. They do all of that and they make money, ton of it.
Mhm.
The only thing that's really a deficit is the CDL itself.
do you think it's enough to warrant the FTC to not grant?
I don't think it's enough, no.
Mhm.
But I think it's enough for a fair argument to
Which
be
is
made
why this argument's been taking so long.
because it is a
Well, it's-
perennial title.
On the 18th, they have to make their final decision.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
it came to the point where they had to make a deadline
Yeah.
because otherwise this would have kept going.
And
Because
while,
it's just so on the line.
yeah, I think it's, while it is a little bit wild to say that it is a thing that would make a monopoly, it's definitely not. But it is fair that people would say that.
Yes, yeah.
Especially if you're not very in tune with the scene
Mhm.
as a whole across
Yeah.
the board,
Mhm.
because Nintendo is seen, even inside the scene, is seen as completely separate
Mhm.
from Xbox
Yeah.
and PlayStation, because it has its own niche and it stays in that niche. It
Mhm.
doesn't compete.
Maybe
in a
maybe
general
Microsoft
sense.
is trying to make their niche because like COD is a niche per se, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
sure.
they're just trying to make COD their niche, or trying to
Yes.
make like I mean,
But
because it'll be it'll be Overwatch. And
the
everything
other
that they'll buy, but
the other thing that came out with the FTC case is
Mhm.
that there was an email strand where Xbox discussed out buying PlayStation for developer teams,
Mm.
which is essentially competing to make a monopoly.
Yeah.
So, and COD is the main part of that in their
Mhm.
plan. As much as they were like, "Oh no, it's not a big title. It's not even huge anymore." Like it definitely was one of their main things outlined in there. Just Activision Blizzard as a whole, because there's WoW, which is something we didn't even touch on.
That is very
WoW.
true.
There's Overwatch, which isn't as big, but and not as big as it used to be, but still it's
To be
there.
fair, they killed it themselves.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely true.
They
Like, I
strangled
mean-
their own goose.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I
Tell
mean,
me about
we
it.
all know it. Activision Blizzard is terrible with esports leagues,
Yeah.
but when you have Xbox buying 2 esports leagues
Mhm.
with franchising involved, and you have all of these different things, all of these different huge titles that Activision Blizzard owns,
Mhm.
and all of the developers involved with that, it is worth discussion at least.
Yeah, which is why the FTC is talking
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
yeah.
We have a question from our beloved viewer, Notorious VIB, and they ask, with the inflation going the way that it is, do you think that the cost of games is going to go up?
It already has. I mean,
It has, yeah.
It
it's
definitely
already
has.
increased with the base game for most games were like $60, and now Nintendo released Tears of the Kingdom, and they basically pushed for the raise of games to be $70. I feel like, right? Weren't they one
It
of the
was-
first to really announce that it was going to be $70, and then like all the other games?
And it
kind of fell in
wasn't just
line?
like a deluxe version. It was just
the base game,
Well, when did they announce that it was going to be
like
70?
a while, like last year, basically.
Okay. Well, I've seen a couple games that were 70 before that.
Yeah, but I feel like it
Usually-
was one of the first big name titles
I
to
will
really
say
be like,
normally
that's
fair.
gonna...
the $70 games that I do see are like giant JRPGs.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and that makes sense because it's so much content.
It's so much
And
content.
it's so much
but
of like things that they had to render and such.
the counter is a lot of games are going free to play.
That is true.
But then you also have the battle pass and all this other stuff that you have to microtransactions.
Or
Overwatch.
a little known difference, which is a free to try game, such as Destiny 2.
Yes.
Which is definitely a free to try.
Mhm.
But they say free to play because you can technically grind a ton
But
on
then you have
free
to buy
to play.
expansion packs to then continue more of the game and everything.
Which is kinda like-
to get
It's
raised.
just
and
kind of like
stuff.
Wizards 101.
Oh my god, I love Wizards 101.
Because it's the same thing. But you can grind so much of the game, but you can't beat the game.
Yeah, you have to pay a premium membership to unlock more of the content.
It's impossible to beat Destiny even with the expansions.
fair.
So I mean, there's no beating it. You complete
I've
and
been
just
so tempted to play that game.
oh, dude. I don't know. I don't know whether to say good for you or don't save yourself.
I haven't yet, but every
Just-
single time it pops up on my Steam.
If you ever want to
like,
play,
Well,
if
to
you ever
be
want to
fair.
play, let me know and then we can start together
Okay.
because I don't want to start Destiny alone.
No,
if
that's
I
totally
actually do
valid.
start
That's
it.
totally valid.
Right now, the expansions are on sale for the Steam Summer Sale. So if you're gonna get into it, buy it now
Because
and
one
get
of-
into it another
So
time.
one of my other friends also plays it, and she's played it for a while because of her ex.
Yeah.
But like every single time I watched it, I was like, man, this looks like really fun, and it looks really entertaining, and I feel like I could play this for a while.
That's
but,
how I feel
like-
about Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe I can just play this for a while
Yeah.
because right now I'm stuck in like a really big gaming rut, which is nice time to do that because it's the summer sale, so I can just get a ton of cheap games.
Yep.
But also, it's like I don't know what sounds fun, so I've just been shopping, window shopping.
Yes,
basically.
yes. I've added like 20 things to my wish list, and I just like I know I need to get it, but like, does that look good?
I know. I have so many things sitting in my wish list, but I'm like, I'm not totally sure if I'm in the mood to play this or like get this right now.
Yeah.
Mhm,
When I play games, and this has been a thing for me my entire time playing games, I'll play a game for a long time and I'll only play that game. I
Yes,
can only
that's what I
play
do.
one at a
Yeah.
time. So that's why I slam through God of War. I
Mm.
slam through everything because I just play it nonstop until it's done or until I burn myself out of that game.
Yes.
And so with Destiny, that took me 6,000 to 8,000 hours.
Wow.
And I'm gonna go back eventually. Maybe
You say like this
you
is
know,
addiction.
Yeah.
I
Well,
went to rehab.
hold on.
But I'm going back.
Hold on, please. Just hold on. So I have the same feeling with COD, where I can play it for months at a time, and I did. And then I think over the summer I play it less, right? Because it's also only season content, and there's not a lot of story there. There's not a lot to keep you coming back besides a couple new guns to level and the camo grind. So I don't really play a lot over summer, and I'm playing it more this summer. But still, I take time away from it, so then I don't get fully burnt out and never come back.
Mhm.
I go play Fallout 76. I go play something like that.
Crab
Grind
Champions.
so much of that. I got to round 300 on Crab Champions
God.
Oh my
in a 9-hour
gosh.
sitting solo.
9-hour sitting.
Yeah, 9-hour solo sitting. And I've not touched the game since because I was like, that's a crown achievement. I don't need to do anymore. The next day I watched Lord of the Rings all the way through, all three, extended edition. Had a great time.
I need to do that.
Oh, it's so good.
But going back to the question,
Yeah.
yes, games definitely are increasing overall, just in general.
Mhm.
But like we said, the Steam Summer Sale is going on. So if there's a game that you're like, I want it, or like you've been meaning to buy, now is probably your best time to do it. I think it's going until the 11th, right?
I think so.
So you have like 2 or 3 more days to grab it. So I would definitely check that out.
And that's, I mean, that's if you're on PC. If you're on
Yes, yeah.
PlayStation or
you have
Xbox.
a Steam Deck.
I mean, if you have,
Who
I don't know,
does?
I don't know how many people have Steam Decks. I mean, they were kind of expensive.
Steam Decks are on sale for the Steam Summer Sale.
They are on
Oh my
sale.
God.
I don't know how I feel about the Steam Deck. I
will
don't
never.
know.
I would just rather have a PC.
Yeah, I just feel very iffy about it all. Like it just, I mean, it looks cool. It's a great concept, but I don't know
yeah.
how it's gonna work in practice.
You just put an emulator on and then you can play the Switch games and then it
very
becomes a
true.
better Switch.
Oh, you're right.
That's
Because
true.
it's higher performing than a Switch.
Ooh.
That would be the Switch killer.
I already have a Switch though.
I know. I was like, I already have a Switch too.
Yeah, then I don't know. I mean, there's tons of games that are compatible on it. So you can play Destiny 2 on it. You can play I mean, you can make it run anything really because it runs like a computer.
Mhm.
So you can really just install an emulator on it and play PlayStation 2 games. You can anything. You can do
All I
anything
can
with the
picture
thing.
is League of Legends.
Oh no.
It would not work, but it'd be really entertaining to watch people try.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, anything with controller support that's on
Yeah.
PC, you can play that probably.
I'm gonna have two topics in a bit here. We have like a little bit left until we have to take another break. So I'm gonna do my short topic first.
Okay.
And it's that Stardew Valley Concerned Ape for like a while ago has said that he wants to put Stardew Valley on mobile.
Yeah, he did.
Did he already?
It's
I've
been on
never-
mobile for a very long time.
I did not know that. I have not played it on mobile. I've only ever played it on my PC.
No, it's been on mobile
But
and
how
since
long has it been that way?
probably a couple years.
Oh wow,
Yep.
I'm really out of the loop. I haven't like noticed any stuff from him because I don't know. He's just a quiet dev.
He is.
to
Yeah,
me.
I mean, he builds his. Supposedly, he builds his games all by himself,
Mhm.
which I'm sure that he has some help here and there. But like,
yeah, it's like you outsource for like certain things that you're not
Ye-
entirely
yeah.
skilled in.
like I'm sure he does it for the art and everything like that. But
Yeah. But that's another I was looking up during the indie game conversation about stuff about him, and he still owns Stardew Valley, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he sold it off or
no,
anything.
he's completely
yeah.
like
So
yeah.
he's made bank.
Oh, and plus he's building his new game too, Chocolate Haunted Tier. Haunted
Chocolatier,
Chocolatier.
which honestly looks really cute.
Mhm. I mean, we probably won't get it for another like 2 years, I would bet. But like, I mean,
I would rather that he spends time on it.
yes, yeah. He's a very in-depth developer to where he will literally
Mhm.
like there's so many secrets of Stardew Valley that like I still haven't even found all of them yet, and like I know they're out there, and I try to avoid spoilers, but I still have and plus he just released like a new 2 years ago he released a new beach expansion update completely free if you already own the game, to where it unlocks a whole new area in the game, and it's just he's such an amazing
He added
dev.
extra storylines,
Extra characters.
and
Mhm.
I enjoy Stardew Valley because it's a replayability because there's always
Mhm.
something new that you can find in that game.
Yes.
Which
You can
I-
get rid of your children, you can divorce and remarry different
I
people, you
forgot
can
about
date
that.
like every
If you-
dateable character in the game at
if
one
you
time
date-
and they'll confront you.
Yeah, it's if you date everyone
Yeah.
in town, you go walk into the bar and everyone fights.
And everyone like go in there, they're like, we have to talk to you about something. Lexi, why are you dating all of us? And you're like, oh shoot.
Yeah, or like if you date only just the guys, it's like a different thing. Or
Mhm.
like
And
it's
then the
super.
girls, yeah.
They have different situations for
Mhm.
everything, and it's so cool to see how in depth he went on
Yes.
everything.
Mhm. He thought of everything.
Mhm.
Yes.
So it
That's
is
cool.
a fun game. It's a cozy game.
Yes.
Unless you go to the mines. I hate going into the mines. So
Oh, well, yeah, I hate going into the skull mines. The regular mines are fine, but like
Yeah,
the
those
skull
are
the skull
fine.
mines are like really hard mines, so they have like more monsters, harder to beat monsters. And then also like in the regular mines, it'll save your progression once you get to certain levels, but in the skull mines, it never saves your progression. So you have to restart over and over again.
Don't you have to get to the bottom of the regular mines in order to even enter the skull mines?
Yes,
'Cause you have
yep.
to get the key.
You have to get the key, and then also you have to get to level 100 of the skull mines in a single day to progress some of the storyline. So that's also another thing.
Yeah.
So how hard is it compared to Deep Rock Galactic?
I just bought that game.
You did?
I've been
Okay.
playing it with Brennan.
Yeah, I saw it's on sale right now, right? Yeah. Okay, I might pick it up. I might pick it up.
So Deep Rock Galactic is
I've seen so many memes about it
so
like this week.
so fun. It's like the only game I've been playing this last week, and I play it alone and I play it with Brennan and some other friends. And it is just the humor factor for me. It's just such a silly game.
So for a general explanation, anybody that doesn't know what Deep Rock Galactic is, it's essentially space mining dwarves, right?
Yes.
That fight bugs.
Yes.
That is, and it's actually great because you run in, like you do a mission, and then you get extracted, right?
Mhm.
Okay, because I've seen clips and I've seen memes.
And you have different missions that you have to do. So sometimes you have to collect like alien eggs, which is scary because as soon as you collect one alien egg, you get a swarm because obviously they're trying to protect themselves. Then you have to fix your own escape pod basically. You have to fix your mules, which are the things that carry around your minerals. There's just all sorts of fun things.
So
There's
it's-
like event monsters, so they only happen once in a while. And my first ever run, we got an event monster
Wow.
and we just died.
So it's like Warhammer.
Kind of, yeah.
Same vein.
It's the same like concept, the same aesthetic.
Mhm.
You also can collect beer ingredients because it's dwarves. Come
Of
on.
course.
Of
So you
course.
collect beer ingredients, and then you can make beers that give you buffs.
Mm.
But if you drink too much beer, then you get drunk. So you like your vision goes all
Fuzzy and-
hazy
yeah.
and like you kind of like wobble. And it's just so, I don't know, it's just a fun game with certain mechanics. You can trash your space station and your command will yell at you. You can turn on and off your gravity so that you're floating around your space station. There's just so many fun things in this game that have little details. There's cosmetics, but there's also upgrades. There's a battle pass, but you like get for free, I think.
Nice.
And just it's just like a fun community too. Like people are not toxic from
That's
what I've
great,
met,
yeah.
which is like it's just a wholesome mining game.
Oh.
Okay, so to go on that vein, Fallout 76, the community was so toxic to start. All that's gone. I'm not even kidding you. People will just give low levels everything to start.
Wow.
Just they make stuff for them. I'm talking. I see like a level 1,000 giving a level 5.
Well,
just the great gear.
I think of it kind of like because the game was so underdeveloped when it first released, so all those tryhards probably didn't want to play the game, and so now you have all the people that stuck around that
And they actually
are enjoying it.
developed and like really put their heart into the
Because
game.
even Fallout 4, everybody was toxic in Fallout 4. Like
Well,
it was,
yeah, I mean, but even beyond that, there's events every for right now. There's a alien event that they have, and so you've seen Fallout 4 Aliens, right?
Yes.
Essentially, it's an alien invasion event at the top of every hour, and the way that Fallout 76 works, you get 4 times XP boost if you're in a public casual team with a maximum size of 4, and if you get the full team to 4, you get 4 times XP.
Wow.
So in a week, I've gone from level 1 to almost level 100
Jeez.
because I'm just joining these casual groups when my friends aren't on, and doing these hourly events where it's an alien invasion where you're getting 500 aliens just dropping, beaming down from, a massive UFO straight out of Independence Day. And it gives you the alien plans, it gives you everything. And it's a limited time event right now, but there's also they just started another season of their battle pass. It's been going on for a couple of years. It's called, well, the premium version is called Fallout First. I bought it because storage space is solved entirely with that.
Gotcha. I hate games that have limited storage space. I'm just gonna say right now.
Yeah,
I get
mean,
it.
Yeah,
I get it. But also,
I am a collector.
It's frustrating. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to have everything.
I'm a collector.
as am I. But the the weight system in Fallout 76 is way better than anything in
I forgot that
Skyrim.
they had the weight system. Yeah,
The
like
weight
Skyrim.
system's
Oh my god.
Skyrim's
yeah.
is way worse than 76, and you can't solve that. 76, you can at least solve the problem.
That's good.
And so I went ahead and did the subscription service because the free track for the battle pass though is insane. I'm talking gold skins for power armor. There's because it was 4th of July, right around the time it released. It's a bunch of American flag decal or paint jobs for
pronouns are
armor and guns.
USA.
Yeah, it's actually great. It's so cool because I can go around. They had a Liberty Prime set, which if you know the character Liberty Prime, is this giant robot that destroys all communists. And they gave the voice lines of Liberty Prime to the power armor suit. So he randomly says very anti-communist lines, and it's the best thing ever.
That is so
and then they gave it because it basically reskins any power armor to look like Liberty Prime, except a little bit chunkier because power armor.
Yeah.
And they made a paint job that bundled with it for 4th of July. So it's extremely patriotic.
Oh my god.
It is over the top.
God,
And you
it's
can
funny.
get a paint job for the minigun, laser minigun. Every gun there's like a raw USA, bald eagle screeching, and
Oh my
it's
god.
so-
Every time you shoot it screeches like the bald eagle.
Oh, I wish that'd actually be kind of sick. But yeah, it was just really fun to see all that, and it's been a fun game, and the balancing is fun, and the community is fun. So
Yep.
it's very
So
fun.
we're gonna do a real quick break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Want to sell your business? You need someone to confidentially find the right buyer. Whether you're planning a future exit strategy or you need to sell now, we're here to help. Transworld Business Advisors of Lincoln. Call 402-413-1095.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Ready to spend more time on the links? Better sell that business first. Transworld Business Advisors of Lincoln has over 450,000 active buyers in our database. We can confidentially find that perfect person. 402-413-1095.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 Tall Boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
The longest radio commercial you can buy is 60 seconds. We don't know who made up this rule, but here at the Nebraska Lottery, we sure wish we had more time. You see, our popular Lucky for Life Ticket Snap promotion is back for 2023. And we have so many incredible prizes, 60 seconds is barely long enough to list them all. But we're gonna try. So until July 10th, visit your nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer. Buy a Lucky for Life ticket and enter the voucher number online for a chance to win Nebraska football Skybox season tickets, regular Nebraska football season tickets, single game Nebraska football tickets, an incredible Nebraska football weekend experience in Lincoln, or tickets to Volleyball Day in Nebraska at Memorial Stadium. Lucky for Life top prize odds 1 in 30 million. Well, look at that. We made it after all. You know, when you've got prizes like
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Sometimes playing with a healthy fear is good because it makes you go, 100 out. Because the more tentative you are, I always told kids, I said, listen, if you don't like this and you don't want to play, don't play. Because you're going to be worse off and get probably hurt more by being tentative in your play as opposed to playing all out.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and the Ticket FM.
All right, welcome back. Notorious B.I.B. sent us their catch from Minnesota. It is a table, like one of those like card tables, or not bigger, like I don't know how to explain them. The plastic white tables at every single gathering ever.
Yeah.
It's just covered in fish. Jaden, do you know what type of fish that is?
Oh, let me see again.
I don't know how to identify fish all that well. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not that great with
Maybe BIB
exact
can text us back.
fish. Yeah.
It looks like maybe bluegill. I'm trying to hope
I
that Animal Crossing
know.
is Animal Crossing fish lore.
Bluegill are
Tiny.
Bluegill's
Okay,
not
well,
a
never
good
mind.
catch.
Well,
Bluegill
I'm
are
going off of
usually-
Animal
No, you're
Crossing
fine.
here, so
Bluegill are usually like feeder fish. You just feed them to other fish.
I don't know exactly what it is.
I've seen this before. Maybe it's a carp or something. I don't know.
Carps are also small.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, carp are well. I was
Yeah.
like, but they're not good. They're bony.
Hmm.
Well, they can be good. You just have to do it right.
That's fair.
Well,
Maybe the carp that I was fishing were not great. But I was actually gonna bring up a new topic here.
Crappie.
That's what I was thinking of. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's a lot of them though.
Yeah, good catch.
Goodness, fun up in Minnesota. But my topic was gonna be the movie about the gamer who became a race car driver. Jaden remembers the name of it. I don't remember the name of it, honestly.
Same name as the
Gran
game that he
Turismo?
played, Gran Turismo. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I cannot remember the name of it right off the top of my head. But Gran Turismo, which I was gonna bring up because NASCAR just partnered with Genji, Genji is a esports esports corporation, I guess, that has teams. They have a league team, I know for sure, but I don't know where else they have teams. I think they have like CS:GO or something. A lot of teams do that. But since NASCAR has partnered also with I think it's Psyonix who creates Rocket League, which is car soccer. But also just like kind of
yeah, no, you're right. It's car soccer.
That's
Yeah, you're
basically what it
right.
is. It's
You're
car
right.
soccer. But also just like how prominent esports and video games is becoming in normal media as well. Kind of just moving on towards more not secular. That's a different word. But like as
Secular is like
as I was gonna say,
separation.
secular, as if like esports is a religion. But
Yeah,
that's not what
yeah.
I mean. It's like separated from the esports world. It's going more towards exposed towards traditional sports. With like those movies of Gran Turismo and
Yep.
also just NASCAR partnering with all these esports corporations.
Well, and I feel like that's also just been very common in sports video games as well. Like you have actual football players endorsing Madden,
This is
and
true.
FIFA is really big. And a lot of people that play FIFA actually play soccer. I'm thinking of really old Sidemen years when they would literally go out and play like actual like games of soccer together because they were a group. No, Sidemen.
I never
The
watched-
Sidemen?
I know who you're
Like
talking about,
the
but I don't
British
watch
dudes?
them.
Yeah, the British dudes, like way back in the
Oh.
day. No. Way back in the day.
Wait, you're not
when they
talking
used
about
to
like
play
KSI
FIFA.
and stuff, right?
Yes, yeah. Back in the day when they actually used to play the game FIFA, they would go out and also like
That's
play
insane.
soccer and everything.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
if you don't know what Gran Turismo is about and you haven't been to a movie theater to see the preview,
Yeah.
it is basically about a kid who loved playing the game Gran Turismo
Mhm.
and was super into racing. And Gran Turismo put on a tournament of all their best players being able to compete for a spot to be able to train to become a race driver,
Yeah.
basically. And he became a really good race driver.
It was his goal in life to become an actual race driver, and he didn't have the funds or means to do so. And so he played Gran Turismo, and then that's how he got on the team and everything like that. And he's actually a really good driver, right?
Yeah, he's a really
he's
good
a
driver.
great driver.
And I was talking with my dad about this actually, not specifically about Gran Turismo, but how your hand-eye coordination and the faster reflexes that a lot of gamers have can be really easily transferred to a lot of things in society and like
Yeah.
just regular skill sets. And my dad even said, well, the people in Ukraine, because I know that a lot of Ukrainians really loved video games. It's a very big popular thing for our age group. And he says, well, maybe they have faster reflexes and that's why they're learning how to use all this new technology a lot faster. It's because they can pick up on that. They're used to having to learn on the fly,
Mhm.
used to having to test their reflexes quickly. And so they can be accurate and be very like tactical with all of the stuff that they're getting sent. So I thought that was a cool, like, what is the word?
Fun fact.
Fun fact, but also like observation that people who, and I've also read that gamers often have a higher hand-eye coordination and also for reflexes than an average person who
Yeah.
doesn't play video games. And so that applying that to like the real world is kind of a cool way to say like it's not completely useless.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even I felt the effects when I worked in my dishwashing job years ago. I mean, I was doing things multitasking wise a lot better than some of my older coworkers that were there that were entering their 30s ish and hadn't played a lot of games, just because I was able to comprehend and plan what I wanted to do.
Yes.
And also I could wash something, put it down, remember it's there, pick something else up, and talk to people at the same time, look away, communicate, be like, all right, I got to do this now and I got to do this later, and not stop.
The best thing about like I guess all of that too is if you're dishwashing, it's not a fun job.
Oh, it sucks.
It's awful. But if you're really good at it and you're really fast, you can kind of see how those kick in, those reflexes of like, okay, I'm going to do this and this is how I'm going to form my plan. It's like a strategic thing.
That was like with me with being a barista.
Exactly.
Especially when we got like a rush and like I had to be on cold bar. And so I would be like, okay, I have all my cups. I'm just going to do this in like tasks. I think like playing cooking games really helped me in that sense because I knew exactly how I wanted to plan out things, and
because it's more efficient if I already have this milk out, so I'm just going to do all of this at once.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it definitely the thinking and the strategy, critical thinking part of the games often helps us.
I mean, there are games that are literally
function.
called strategy games.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so kind of being able to transfer those skills over to the real world. People really don't think video games are all that useful, but I would argue and be like, well, the only reason why I was successful as a barista, as a dishwasher, as a server is because of I could calculate and everything that I needed to do and do it efficiently, because you have to be efficient in video games or else you're going to fall back behind because everyone's faster than you. Lexi was also just checking out our comment from the Notorious B.I.B. about Crappie saying that they're fighters. They do fight when you try to reel them back in, but also they are very tasty apparently. I haven't had crappie, so I wouldn't know.
Really? That's pretty good.
Our crappie were too small.
No, well,
they were too bony and too small.
Yeah,
they were
that's
malnourished. But that was kind of all I wanted to talk about for Gran Turismo. If there's anything that you guys wanted to add on for the transfer between skills and real life and video games.
I mean, I think I'm more just like in shock that we're actually seeing a game about game. I mean, sorry, not a game, a movie about a gamer becoming something real in the sports scene, and it's just I never thought that we would have. I think the closest thing we've really gotten to is like Ready Player One, and like also like the Tom Clancy movies, whatever. But
yeah, I mean, the fact that this is reality, I'm not surprised, because if there's any game to traditional sport transition, this is the one for it, because the racing games all use the steering wheel, they all use the acceleration, the clutch, all of it, and they're all manual for the most part. It's the most easily transferred from electronic to physical, but I mean, it obviously is still very different. You're actually feeling the clutch, you're actually feeling the
car,
speed. You're gonna have to, like, your soul is the car, right? And you have to be able to have complete feel of all of it. And going from electronic, where you don't have that, to physical is obviously a challenge, but it's been done.
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the biggest things in the trailer, was like they were like, you're gonna have to adapt to like the speed of it, and it's faster than going up into space or something like that.
The thing that I noticed from the trailer is like it's gonna be hot. And I never thought about how hot it would get in a pit like that, like a cockpit in a car. But like thinking about it, yeah, it's gonna get sweltering in there. And that is also another thing that you have to deal with, because you're also suited up and you have a helmet on, so you're not getting fresh airflow often. I should say you're just trapped in there. You're gonna like be drenched in your own sweat, and you have to deal with it. You have to be focused more on the race than your own discomfort.
Yeah. That's just facts of the racers for people that started racing, and with how cars are and everything else, and being on, I mean, tracks in Daytona, for example, where it's just sweltering hot anyway, being in all that gear in a car where, you know, it's made a specific way, and it's going to be hot inside there, no matter where you are. I mean, that's just facts of the matter that are just taking time to adjust to from the electronic end, where you're in an AC apartment or house and cozied up with a blanket or something.
That's the other thing that's super impressive, is you have to make yourself uncomfortable. Like that is the point. Is you have to force yourself through this discomfort to perform well.
Yeah,
And that's not something that you really have to do all that often when you're gaming, because you're oftentimes in your own home, comfy with your tea or whatever. So
I feel like that's most sports though.
That
Like
is
you
true.
have like especially like soccer, football, like especially football when you have the helmet on, you have all this padding on, like it's probably hot outside or it's like literally snowing.
Mhm.
Like what? I don't know. I just
I
feel like it's
have
a lot of
another
sports, but-
level of respect for a lot of
Mhm.
sports players because it is not easy.
Mm-mm.
It's physically demanding,
Mhm.
obviously. And the things that you have to go through, you have to weather through. Like it is impressive that people have that willpower to
Yeah.
keep going.
Oh yeah.
This would be a great time to have him on here.
Well, actually, yeah. So I have a point to make, but we'll make it after we take a quick break, and we'll see you soon.
You're listening to Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you. Picture a hot summer day, sun blazing and the fields as far as the eye can see. Now imagine you're a teenager making bank, all while enjoying the great outdoors. Welcome to Nats Detasseling Inc., where they're not afraid to sweat. This summer, join the Nats team for an unforgettable experience. Forge friendships, learn responsibility, and earn money. Visit notafraidtosweat.com now. Nats Detasseling, where hard work meets good times. At Ascend Aesthetics, they understand that you want results and you want them fast. That's why they've developed the fastest weight loss and body toning programs that are clinically proven to shed extra fat, boost muscle mass, and tighten skin without having to spend hours at the gym. Reveal your leaner physique, ignite your testosterone levels, and boost your energy with personalized plans tailored to your goals. Learn more at slimdowne.com or call 402-480-6680. Ascend Aesthetics, where transformation begins.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR, and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
This is Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back now and figuring out what we were talking about before. We had a bit of conversation and I think I lost track. I don't have a point to really make now. I don't
We were
think
talking
I can
about just like in sports, how it's really like it gets hot in the cockpit when you're driving, and then when we're the football players are outside, they're wearing helmets and really padded gear, and it gets hot, and then
Got
it's
it.
snowing sometimes.
There you go.
And yeah, there we go.
Okay, so in terms of uncomfortability with sports, especially football, this is a point that's probably made on here before. I haven't seen every single bit, but LSU developed a new helmet for football that has air conditioning in it,
Wow.
which when getting into the later stages of a game, especially in the SEC, could be very impactful. And I'm very curious to see how those work. I've seen people wear them and go, oh, wow, you can tell
Mhm.
off the get-go. It seems kind of like a cheat code a little bit, because if you're not as hot and exhausted and you're not dripping sweat in the fourth quarter, which you probably still are just from physical exertion,
Mhm.
but having that air conditioning, that cooling, especially in your head area, that's got to say something.
Doesn't most of your heat like escape your head, like your
Yes,
body
yeah.
through your head?
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
The other thing I was gonna say is that I learned this, but a lot of mascot suits have air conditioning in the helmets, and you can't have long hair because it will get stuck and it will break the air conditioning.
Yeah.
So it's kind of important to be mindful of how your hair is when you're wearing those types of helmets.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure it's braided or it's put up and put away, or else you're gonna get it caught and it's gonna hurt and it's gonna break your helmet.
Yeah.
So that's my only insight on that. Is like, yeah, please don't get your hair caught.
Yeah. So I guess my wonder now is how long until that goes to be a thing for everybody when they go to South or anywhere where it's projected to be even remotely warm, or is that just going to become a universal thing? Is that just going to be proprietary to LSU?
Kind of like seatbelts. Is it going to become something everyone has?
Maybe. There's not too many occurrences of heat stroke or anything like that on the field.
But
so it's
is
not
a nice luxury.
Oh, it definitely is. And I definitely think it could be a performance enhancer, but I'm not entirely sure. And I don't know enough about it, and I've only seen it in passing. I just know it was a thing, and I knew I immediately was like, this is a cheat code on the level of custom controllers and esports. I never played football like that. The last time I played football competitively was middle school. So, yeah.
Well, plus I'm also thinking, like, what if this helmet stops working, the air conditioning stops working? Then that person is having a mental issue of like, oh my God, now it's extra hot. I don't have the air conditioning anymore. Like, it could affect them even more mentally if the helmet is like malfunctioning or something too.
Maybe. And that could be a thing later on. That'd be a problem. I don't think it'd be a thing for the first few years, because especially with experienced players that have played, anybody in high school now or in college for the next few years, or if this gets universally implemented, whenever that happens, I doubt that'll be an issue mentally for at least 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, I'm talking like in the future if it does get implemented full time and these middle schoolers are playing now with these nice air conditioning helmets or something, then it could become an issue of mentality as well if it's not working or something. But.
Yeah, that's fair.
For sure.
I definitely think that's going to be something that's going to be an interesting kind of thing to wrestle with. It's something that you could compare to currently in college Call of Duty, competitive Call of Duty. There's kind of free reign. It's a wild, wild west in terms of what controller you use, because it's really down to comfortability. But custom controllers are just a huge advantage in general. especially for somebody like me. I'm at a disadvantage because I don't use claw, so I can't do much of input simultaneously, like say Hinder or anybody else on my team can. So it'll be interesting to see how our end of it on esports happens, but then how that helmet development happens on the football field. And I'm not sure how much you guys follow football, so I don't know how much you're going to see the effects of that, but I know I'm going to be watching. I know you guys are going to be watching, and I hope you guys hopefully can watch a little bit more as we slowly but surely work our way in. I hear the music a little bit. Hear the angels calling.
We're gonna start. Oh, we're gonna.
Oh, the music went away. Are we?
Finish up. You're good.
Finish up.
Yep.
All right.
So we're gonna wrap up here. We're hoping that you guys tune in with us next week, and we'll see you guys then.
Yeah.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. Use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to. The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call 402-429-8121.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live or play, people deserve a secure and reliable connection. We're proud to